Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to Dr. Zaki and all of my friends. And today we are going to present about Quran verses that are related with the social judgment theory. Okay, first I will introduce the meaning of the social judgment theory. Social judgment theory relates involvement of self to the situational context for communication. Predictions about assimilation contrasts, effects in judgments of communication and attitude change on issues varying in personal importance are tested through research finding devised and through multiple and innovative methods.
Next, I will recite ayah from Surah Al-Hujurat verse 6. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. The meaning is, oh, you who believe, if an evil doer comes to you with important news, verify it, lest you should harm people in ignorance, out of haste in belief and making decisions, and afterwards you become regretful for what you have done. This ayah from Al-Hujurat verse 6. These Quran verses explain that the believer to investigate, examine and not in a hurry to accuse if they are brought by news or story by the wicked.
Okay, next this slide explain about Arabic terminology in the surah. First, inna is mean half and means hesitate. Fasikun is mean mischief monger, sinner, wicked, corrupt person. Naba'in is a true story, and tabayyanu is mean investigate and verify, and tusbihu is a mean of happen yearly.
Okay, we go through background of Revelation. A story between Haris ibn Abi Dirar, the leader of the tribe of Banu Mustalik, and Walid ibn Aqaba, which is narrated by Ibn Kathir. Likewise, about verse 6, a large number of tradition of hadiths confirm that it was sent down concerning Walid bin Aqaba, whom the Holy Prophet that had sent to collect the zakat from the Bani al-Mustalik, and it was known that Walid bin Aqaba had become a Muslim on the conquest of Mecca.
Okay, next, ruling. On the basis of this verse, it may be ruled that if a mischief-monger, sinner, weak or corrupt person complains about any person or nation or accuse them of any wrongdoing, so it is not lawful to act upon the certain information or evidence of such a person without making a thorough investigation. Al-inatu minallah wal-ajalatu minasyaitan. The meaning, delay and thinking about the consequence are blessings from God Almighty, while haste is from Shaitan. This is narrated by Al-Tabari.
Next, the explanation about social judgment theory by Muzaffar Sharif. He said, the perception and evaluation of an idea by comparing it with current attitude. The theory can be associated with the acceptance of Harith ibn Abi Dirar when the alms collector did not arrive on the designated date. He feared that the holy prophets may be displeased with them. It was unlikely for the holy prophet not to keep his promise.
Okay, next, the person's judgment of the various alternatives. Interestingly, people make judgments about persuasive topics in much the same way they make judgments about hot and cool. So the theory holds that we will provision incoming information depending upon the actual position will hold on a given issue. So, first, latitude of acceptance. It is reasonable or worthy of considerations. Okay, for example, there's people will pull the new position closer to themselves and make it seem to be even more acceptable than it really is. So, by contrast, if incoming persuasion information falls outside of the latitude of acceptance, then people will contrast that the new position. So they will push the new position even further away from themselves and make it seem worse than it really is. Okay, next, latitude of rejection. Is this unreasonable or objectionable? So, convincing message that proponent positions in your latitude of rejection will be contrasted by us. They will appear to be further away from our anchor point than they actually are. That's not good news for the world be persuaded. But if you think about it, according to the theory, persuasion is a very difficult process. First of all, persuasion cannot happen if new information or news is judged to fall within the latitude of rejection. And second, if the person is ego involved in the issue, then the latitude of rejection is larger than unusual and persuasion is even more difficult. And last, people tend to perversion new information through assimilation and contrast, which dilutes the persuading potential of new information. This theory offers some powerful guidelines for persuasion. First, work in the latitude of acceptance and avoid the latitude of rejection. And according to this theory, change cannot to intervene in the latitude of rejection. And the last one is latitude of non-commitment. This is neither acceptable or questionable.
After that, I will explain about latitude of acceptance. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما. The meaning of they question you about strong drinks and games of chance. Say, in both is great sins and some utility for men, but the sin of them is greater than their usefulness. From Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 219. The description is about after hearing this verse of drinks prohibition, Muslims promised not to approach drinking and gambling anymore. They pour out their alcoholic drinks. After that, we go to the latitude of rejection. The ayah from Surah An-Nur, verse 5. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قال ربي إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا. He said, my Lord, indeed I invited my people to truth night and day. When the Prophet Noah called his human for the truth, they are refused to follow and put their fingers in their ears, covered themselves with their garment and persisted. After that, the combination of latitude of non-commitment. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فانكحوا ما طاب لكم من النساء مثنى وثلاث ورباع فإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة أو ما ملكت أيمانكم. He said, then marry those that please you of other women, 2 or 3 or 4, but if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only one of those who your right hand possesses. From Surah An-Nisa, verse 3. This verse stipulates that marrying more wives than one is permissible on the condition that one treats his wife equitably.
So that is our conclusion of our presentation. I can conclude that a person may not agree with a less extreme stance related to his or her position, even though they may be in the same direction. And next, even though two people may seem to hold identical attitudes, their most preferred and least preferred alternatives may differ. And the last one, a person's full attitude can only be understood in terms of what other positions he or she finds acceptable or unacceptable, in addition to his or her own stand. So that's all from us.